Here are 10 amazing similarities between Sherlock Holmes and the character of House from his eponymous TV series. The connection between the words House and Holmes should be quite obvious. Both House and Holmes are experts to whom cases are brought that are too difficult for others to solve. Both are drug addicts, Holmes with his cocaine and House with his Vicodin. Each has a sidekick. Holmes has Watson, and House has the similarly named Wilson. Each sidekick tries to wean their leading man off their drug addiction. Holmes is said to limp from an old war wound. House walks with a cane due to an infarction in his leg. Both House and Holmes live at 221B Baker Street. Both characters use a well-known riddle about a room with all 4 views being southern-facing during their canons. House and Holmes both frustrate their friends, and almost anyone else who is around, with their extreme arrogance. They do, of course, both also tend to always be right. Both characters are passionate about music, and use the medium to relax or de-stress in between cases. Although whereas Holmes plays the violin, House plays the piano and the guitar. Sherlock owns, and plays to a very high standard, a Stradivarius violin. The famous phrase, "Elementary, my dear Watson," is never spoken by Holmes in the original books. The first known occurrence of it is in fact in the P.G. Wodehouse novel Smith, Journalist. Holmes does say his other most famous phrase, which is, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Just like his creator, Sherlock believes in fairies, ghosts, and spiritualism. Sherlock has a brother called Mycroft, said to be more intelligent than him, but much fatter and lazier. Holmes trained as a bare-knuckle boxer. Watson once refers to him as the finest of his weight. This helps him beat his opponents when it comes to a punch-up. Recreational drugs that are illegal now but weren't then were popular during the time the stories were written, hence Holmes being partial to the odd shot of morphine or cocaine. Holmes is said to be a master of disguise, and in the stories even fooled Watson once while going incognito as a stooped old man. Holmes famously lived at 221B Baker Street, London. The address, specifically the B, was fictional, but the area it would have been in is now the postcode area NW1 6XE. Sherlock never acquired a degree, despite spending long periods of time at university studying a range of subjects. Elementary, CBS 2012. An excellent presentation, but considered strange by many fans because in this universe Watson is female. Sherlock Holmes and the Secret Weapon, 1942. In this Basil Rathbone adventure, reality and fiction intermingle as a wartime Sherlock Holmes fights the Nazis. The Return of Sherlock Holmes, 1987. Sherlock returns from being cryogenically frozen in his hidden basement. He is discovered by Watson's great-granddaughter. Sherlock Hound, 1984 to 1985. A Japanese anime adaptation, the main hook for kids being that Sherlock Holmes is a talking dog, obviously. Sherlock Holmes the Musical, 1998 to 1999. The less said about this, the better. Absurdly Simple, Irene Adler. The first story in Adler's rebooted fan fiction Sherlock Holmes universe, which takes his relationship with Watson to a whole new and intimate level. House, 2004 to 2012. Sherlock Holmes is in fact a medical doctor. I'll talk more about House quite soon. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, 1996 to 1999. a Canadian TV series with a focus on Sherlock's modern-day great-grandniece. The Great Mouse Detective, 1986, a Walt Disney classic featuring the rodent Sherlock Holmes.